Hi, I'm Dele Olawanle of Dele and Co. Solicitors. COVID-19 has brought a big change to the way we do business, even the way we relate to you as lawyers. So we have clients all over the United Kingdom at Dele and Co. Solicitors, representing clients from over 50 countries around the world. If you need to talk to us, you need to get legal advice from us, whether you are in the United Kingdom, whether you are in Scotland, you are in Wales, you are in Northern Ireland, and you are in England, or in any countries of Europe, outside Europe, in Africa, in Asia, Southeast Asia, in America, we can actually have a virtual consultation with you where we'll be able to send you a link that you'll be able to access, and then we can advise you. If there are documents to be shown to us before we give you legal advice, you can actually email it to us, or scan it to us, or fax it to us, so that we assist of the facts of your case before we have a legal consultation with you. Things have gotten just better working from anywhere around the world. We can still do business. So to prevent you from traveling all the way from Scotland to London to see us, from the north of England, from the West Midlands to come and see us, you can actually see us in the comfort of your home, your office, and even in your car. All things are possible. Look forward to seeing you. If you want to come to London still, you are welcome. But if you want to see us virtually, you can also see us. Just pay your consultation fee, and then we'll take care of the rest. Thank you.
Program on Legal Panorama. I am Cynthia Arthur. With me in the studio is Mr. Dele Olawanle of Dele and Co. Solicitors. Welcome, sir.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Looking radiant and glowing.
Same as yourself.
Okay.
Can you tell the viewers about this program?
Legal Panorama is to educate citizens and immigrants alike on the UK immigration law as it affects them. And the program, we take the law, we break it down, because even these days, judges and lawyers, all of us, we're facing challenges in comprehending the law because they keep changing it. And even the ones they wrote the immigration rules, sometimes it's not straightforward, because when they draft the law and they don't put into consideration all different circumstances, and no two cases are the same. So we take the law, we break it down, we make it simple. We can condense a whole book into a 2-minute word or 3-minute word for people, the citizenry, to understand. So this program has been going on for at least 15 years now, talking on law. And you remember, this is United Kingdom. You can't say what you like without, your sources have to be authentic. You have to know what you are talking about. And we have been able to do that successfully over the years. And so we take the law, we break it down, tell you that these are the changes in the law, these are the things you need to do, this is what you can do to make your application, this is what you can do to stay away from law. And both personal experience and legal experience. I studied law in this country. I went to law school here. I did my training here. Also, immigration have also taught me a lesson because when I made my application to remain in the United Kingdom based on my marriage to my wife of 28, we've been married 28 years.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
long
amazing.
time. So they refused. They asked me to be reporting, and I did that for 8 years. On the 7th year, they took me to Gatwick Airport to deport me, but I escaped through judicial review, and yet they kept me in detention. They released me later reported for another year before they granted me leave to remain. So that is one of the things that has, led to this. Because when I was in detention, I met a lot of people that did not know why they were there. Some thought they had applications at the Home Office, whereas their lawyers didn't make any application. Some of them, their application had been refused, and no one told them. They were just there. I just thought they didn't really even know the application that was made for them. So I made up my mind that if I have the opportunity, I will do this for the community. And I've been doing it successfully for the past 15 years. And also, thank you for being loyal and faithful, because many people said they have been watching me since I started Lego Panorama.
Wow.
I said, wow, loyalists, we love you.
Thank you very much. And the main issue in the country now is COVID-19.
Yes.
How has it affected legal practice in general, and how are you coping?
We are coping well. If you're an old head in this profession, you will know what to do. Also, law is a living organism. It's always breathing. It's always changing. So we have to expect changes, and we can see that a lot of things will be done legally in the court system electronically as time goes on. So we have been prepared. But what we didn't prepare for was the coronavirus attack, because it paralyzed a lot of things, destroyed a lot of things, ruined a lot of things, but also it taught us a lot of lessons. So we have been able to cope. We have been seeing clients through Zoom, doing consultation for them rather than asking them to come for face-to-face meetings when they need to send documents to them, to us. They either post it or they scan it, and we still do their cases, because applications are now made in most cases electronically. So it's on the computer. It's not a paper-based something. So nothing spoiled, if I may say that. We are active. We are operating well. Some of our work we do from home, but it doesn't affect the clients in any way. Um, because the home could have been an office in the first place. Yeah. Yeah.
I know you've already touched base on it, but can you elaborate more on how you see your clients now, considering what is happening, and especially most people are a bit further away, not in London?
Yes. Um, I actually wouldn't want to put any vulnerable clients or with innate or underlying health conditions through the risk of traveling maybe from Newcastle to London, or maybe from Scotland. So what we do is we do what is called a Zoom consultation, and believe me, it's been brilliant. We see each other face to face like this, and you know, as you can see that, yeah, this is the person I'm talking to, so that when you see them on the road, you will definitely recognize them, that this is my lawyer, this is my client. So that is how we have been seeing people, unless you need to come down, unless it is compulsory. It is not really very important now. But definitely, when things get better, the same clients will still come and
Yes.
see us if they need to bring documents, or they just want to meet us in person. So again, there is no barrier to giving legal advice now on Zoom. And the other one is Google, is it?
Microsoft
Microsoft, yeah,
Teams,
Teams,
yes.
yeah. So we can still see and represent our clients without any problem, and the home office branches, the biometric centers are opening up little by little, easing the system off. So everything is okay as far as I'm concerned, though it's a bit slow. It's a slow market because everyone is being cautious, and you can't blame them.
Of course.
Yes.
Can you tell us what is the importance of legal advice?
Um, it is very, very important to get legal advice on your situation. Why? So that you don't make mistakes, so that you don't waste money, so that you don't throw good money after a bad case. Now, when the coronavirus something started, many people were confused.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to turn. So what we did is we got advice. How do we operate in this market, in this system that is that suddenly came to a halt? And then that was when they advised on Microsoft
Teams and
Teams,
Zoom.
Zoom, and even on WhatsApp you can
Yes.
use the
Video
video on
call.
FaceTime and things like that. We got better, and then we want to see which is legal, which is not
Yes.
legal, so that we are not breaking the law. So we look at it, we talk of confidentiality, we talk of everything, and we decided, so legal advice is the first thing you should get in any situation. Number one, whether it's immigration, whether it is family, whether it is employment, whether it is a commercial dispute, whether on a criminal matter, get legal advice. Because if you get legal advice, you will prevent avoidable problems, avoidable issues. I remember years ago it was a family matter, and the wife, the wife was trying to beat the husband, to beat her. Are you getting me? The legal advice we gave was simple. When that became very obvious, we said, well, whenever the argument wants to start,
Yes.
just leave the
Leave.
house.
Yes.
And then by the time you come back, everything will have calmed down. Rather than saying you, and then it turns to a case of assault. And do you know the couple are still together because of legal advice? So get legal advice. And in the area of immigration, it is even more important, because if you make a mistake, before you know it, you will sleep in London and land in Lagos and wake up in Lagos, or in Uganda or in Jamaica. So it's good. So you need to get legal advice. Also, if you go and put in a rubbish application, you may discover that that may be the battle you will fight for another 12 years because of that thing you put before them. So it is good to get legal advice to know what to do and to do the right thing.
Knowledge is key and knowledge is power. So
Yes.
that's what we're here to do today, to seek the advice of the expert to know what to do in times of need, so we do not complicate our issues. What can people do to regularize their stay, especially the people in the front line?
People in the front line, the home office are doing sales. They say some of them should not pay immigration head surcharge. Thank the Prime Minister and the Home Secretary for that, but find out whether you are qualified for it or not. So, and do that. I think the government has been very, very good, though some of the things they did came as a result of pressure, because it was, I saw the climb down by the Prime Minister, who was arguing with the opposition party leader on whether frontline workers should pay immigration health surcharge and things like that. He said, well, if it's the right thing to do, it's the right thing to do. The next day he said it's not the right thing to do. So I love politics. I love it. Though I'm not a politician, I'm not a member of any political party, but I love politics, because that is the wisdom that is lacking in churches. Because you see, the thing you look at, politicians, they'll say yes today, tomorrow they'll say no, when they see that they are wrong. In churches, we'll never, we are not very that clever, in that we, even if we know that thing is wrong, we don't want to apologize or do something like that. So it's interesting. So get legal advice to, so that you can regularize your stay, whether you're in the front line or in the back line or in the middle line. It doesn't really matter. Get legal advice so you know what to do. Because when you get legal advice, you will be advised on what to do, how to prepare your case, the documents to rely on, the things you need to do to put in place, so that your case can be very strong. Because putting in an application is one, getting a result is another. So therefore, you need to get legal advice. You need to know what to do, how much it's going to cost, so that if you don't have the money now, you can start saving
Right.
towards it. Then it is important so that you won't be trashing your evidence. A lot of people, they destroy their, once they get their pay slip, they destroy it because they don't want to be arrested by the immigration authority. That is your evidence you will need in the future to stay in the country. A lot of people don't use their name. A lot of people, all sorts. I hear that because I've seen people, someone who lived in the UK for 17 years and he only have one BT bill, just one,
Wow.
and that one was a wretched one. So what I'm trying to say is that when you get legal advice, you will not make avoidable mistakes, and that could hinder you or from any member of your family from joining you in the future. So it is very, very important. Get legal advice, and you'll be told what to do.
If you've just tuned in, you're watching Legal Panorama. I'm Cynthia Arthur and I've got Mr. Dele Olawanle of Dele and Co. Solicitors in the studio. The telephone numbers are on the screen and the address. You can make contact with them and they'll be more than happy to help you with your migrational issues. What is the 7-year rule or policy for children?
I'm 7 year old. We are talking of children that were born here, that has lived there to the age of 7, or those that were brought from abroad and have lived there, born abroad and brought there, who have lived there to the age of 7. Now, um, the government said they will not remove them unless it is reasonable to do so. Reasonableness has no definition. There's no definition of reasonableness, so they look at each case on its facts. So no two cases are the same. So the fact that a child has lived there for 7 years, the parents may get leave, they may not get leave, because it's not definite, it's not certain. So it depends on the particular circumstances of the parents, and also the particular circumstances of the parents, and then of the child, of the family, and how it is presented, legal representation, to make a case. So it is not something that is guaranteed that once your child reaches the age of 7, that they will be granted leave to remain. You may have a child that has special needs, that you know you have some of them being supported by the council or being supported by a health authority. Is different from a child that is 100% normal. But the child that is 100% normal may also have a lot of relatives in the UK who are settled here. So if they don't have health issues, the fact that they have relatives here may also help their case. So it's all over the place. Well, we just have to put together the jigsaw and make a good case for each applicant, depending on how they want their case to be done. But it has helped a lot of people because in the last 12 months, I will say things have been up, 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 up.
Okay.
It has been good. Yes.
Right. The message here is no two cases are the same. Seek legal advice in all circumstances. What can people who were refused in the past do to progress their application?
Yes. What I've seen over the years is that you have people whose cases were refused, and then they stopped and they went underground and they became miserable. Some of them became depressed. But what I want to say is that the fact that an application was refused um, does not mean it is the end of the road. And to be honest, I don't think the government can grant leave to remain to everyone that applies. Then, if not, United Kingdom will be overthrown by immigrants. So, so if you go to your home country, it's not everyone that applies that gets approved. So therefore, there's always a waiting period or a retrial. So what I'm going to say is that if you are refused in the past, it's not the end of the road. It may well be that your situation has changed. Maybe you have lived in the UK for 18 years and now you've lived there for 20 years. Your situation has changed. Maybe you are single before you are now married. Your situation has changed. Maybe you are married before you now have a child. Your situation has changed. So the condition and the reason for the refusal of the previous application does not mean the current application will be refused. So therefore, again, get legal advice. If you have been refused in the past, ask what can you do? What are the things, the chances of not getting a refusal again? You will be told. You'll be given legal advice. It may well be that there are certain things you need to go and do to put in place. Then through that, then your application will start have a better chance of being allowed. What I want you to understand is that if you had been to court and a judge dismiss your appeal, and maybe you appeal to the upper tribunal and they dismiss, or you appeal to the high court, what is going to happen is that another judge will have to look at the case from the angle of the previous refusal if you ever appear before an immigration judge again. So therefore, there has to be a way you will have to distinguish the past refusal from the current refusal.
Yeah.
So to show that they are different, the facts have changed, circumstances have changed, the issues that led to the refusal of the previous one have been dealt with, and then things are looking brighter. Then you may succeed. But the fact that you are refused in the past, my emphasis, does not mean that you have no chance of succeeding with the current one.
Right, very enlightening. What can people who are not granted the right to appeal within the UK do?
If you are not granted the right to appeal within the UK, again, it's not the end of the road. They are saying that they don't think if you appear before an immigration judge that you will succeed. They have no right to say that. It's just their opinion, and they cannot be a judge and a jury in the case. So what you need to do, you still have to get legal advice, and you may be able to challenge the decision by judicial review pre-action protocol, or you do judicial review, and then then you take it from there. I also want to chip in here that there are people, we are living Europe, and then you have to apply for settled and pre-settled status. Make sure you do something about it so that by June 2021 you don't discover that you are now struggling to stay here and you are already out of Europe. We are already out of Europe because people, what I've seen is that they like delaying things. They will drag it. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it next tomorrow. Oh, we still have time. But yeah, procrastination will bind you. So listen, now we started January. We said Happy New Year. And Mr. COVID came and messed up everything. We are in the middle of the year. Almost the year is almost over. So we don't know. Anything can happen between now. So if you are a dependent of a European national, or maybe you are a European national living in the UK, make sure you apply for your settled status now or pre-settled status. Again, we are more than able to assist with that. But don't think you have time, because we've seen what Mr. Coronavirus did.
Procrastination is the thief of time, so
Yes.
do not become a victim.
Yes.
What are the important things to do by people who have been given a right of appeal?
If you have been given a right of appeal, number one, notice the date by which you have to make the appeal. Make a note of it and do something about it. Put in your appeal first before you go to pray. Someone said that he got a refusal and gave the decision to the pastor. Pastor put it at the altar, and then 2 months later, until immigration picked the person, an appeal that you have been put in within 14 days. They didn't do that. So therefore, when you are refused, put in your appeal as quickly as possible. Don't waste time. Don't procrastinate. Don't delay. Once you put it in, then you have time to prepare your case, to get witness statements, to get support from your family and friends and your place of work, your employers, inland revenue, HM revenue and customs, whether you've done voluntary job as well. You have time to gather those documents, but make sure you put in your appeal first, and then sometimes, most times, it is better to get a lawyer to represent you on your appeal because they know the law. You will be arguing on the facts, but the lawyers will be arguing on the facts and the law, and it makes a difference. Because you can argue through your head knowledge, but when the lawyer is angry, he will be pointing the judge to the statutes, to the law, to the legislation. If the judge does not allow the appeal, you can appeal to a higher court that he made an error of law. So don't deny yourself that opportunity because you are going to pay a few thousands of pounds or something. Yeah. Yes.
The message here is do not leave things too late. Always seek legal advice. I've got Mr. Dele Olawanle of Dele & Co. Solicitors here. The telephone numbers are on the screen. Do contact them. Follow them on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. What is your final word for viewers?
My final word is coronavirus has changed the world totally. We don't know when planes are going to fly, and if it is flying now, we don't know whether it will continue to fly because we don't know what may happen. Well, I just hope and pray that there's no second wave of coronavirus. I think it's a better time, or best time, or a good time to make an immigration application if you have been here for a while and to see whether you may be granted leave to remain. But make sure it's your decision. No one is compelling you to do that. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for watching. And do stay safe. Follow all Mr. Dele Olawanle and Dele & Co. Solicitors on all social media platforms. Give them a call. There's a consultation fee to be paid. Do not be scared. Seek, expect advice. Knowledge is power. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dele Olawanle of Dele & Co. Solicitors. COVID-19 has brought a big change to the way we do business, even the way we relate to you as lawyers. So we have clients all over the United Kingdom at Dele & Co. Solicitors, representing clients from over 50 countries around the world. If you need to talk to us, you need to get legal advice from us, whether you are in the United Kingdom, whether you are in Scotland, you are in Wales, you are in Northern Ireland, and you are in England, or in any countries of Europe, outside Europe, in Africa, in Asia, Southeast Asia, in America, we can actually have a virtual consultation with you where we'll be able to send you a link that you'll be able to access, and then we can advise you. If there are documents to be shown to us before we give you legal advice, you can actually email it to us, or scan it to us, or fax it to us, so that we assist of the facts of your case before we have a legal consultation with you. Things have gotten just better working from anywhere around the world. We can still do business. So to prevent you from traveling all the way from Scotland to London to see us, from the north of England, from the West Midlands to come and see us, you can actually see us in the comfort of your home, your office, and even in your car. All things are possible. Look forward to seeing you. If you want to come to London still, you are welcome. But if you want to see us virtually, you can also see us. Just pay your consultation fee, and then we'll take care of the rest. Thank you, and have a good day.